Welcome to Wordplay, the podcast where metaphors spiral, sayings unravel, and two pals try and make sense of it all. I'm George.
And I'm Rach. And each week we pick a well-known saying, such as when pigs fly, or the cat's out the bag.
And then we run absolutely wild with it.
Sometimes it's deep, sometimes it's chaos. Usually both. This is Wordplay. Let's get into it.
Good morning.
Hello.
It's a morning vibe this morning, hey?
It's a morning vibe.
Which, for our listeners, hey, who knows what time of day it is? But in this particular episode, we are recording this, 14 hours after the last one in the morning, which is what we don't normally do. So hey ho.
We never usually do it, and I planned it that way because I thought it would be more convenient, and and it may have backfired. However, I do have a snack with me today. You'll be pleased to hear.
Yeah, go on. What is it though? Not a baby
Not a
bell
baby
by
bell.
that. What is the snack of the day? Tell me the snack of the day.
It's not anything actually. Oh no, I shouldn't say it's not actually anything that good because they might want to sponsor us. It's a it's a grenade bar, a protein bar.
Oh, I've never had one. What's the flavour?
It's peanut butter.
The best flavour for those kinds of things, in my opinion.
I mean, actually, it's called white chocolate salted peanut.
Oh. Ooh, sickly? Have you had a bite yet?
Like, give it a I haven't.
Give us a
live reaction. Yeah. Okay.
It's sort of like a long rectangular bobbly baby bell. Visually, if you're not seeing this visually, look at the video option, please.
Okay, I will say it's quite a consistently soft nougat-y texture, but like a soft nougat, you know?
Yeah, not choo-choo.
It feels like it's been left out in the sun a little bit too long.
Does that make it harder or softer? There's a weird law of physics around that, right? Like biscuits get soft, but cake gets hard. Is that how that works? In not in the sun, but like when they go stale, I mean.
In oxygen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Chemistry.
And bread as well.
Man.
I don't know. It doesn't live up to a baby bell, I'll be honest. And it is quite sweet. And you know I'm a savoury person.
You are a savoury person. Are you going to eat it for the fuel?
Yeah, I'm going to eat it for the fuel.
Yeah.
I've got to eat it for the fuel.
Need that to get through your busy life you got going on these days.
I didn't sleep very well, so.
Well, here we are, bright sunshine. I say bright sunshine like it's not 9:04 a.m., which is not that outrageous, but I'm wearing my pajamas and I've been awake for 2 hours. I just didn't want to get dressed yet.
They don't look like pajamas. It looks like you're a fashionista.
That's true, actually. It could be a salmon shirt. That's not what I wanted to say.
Salmon?
Summer shirt. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, well, I don't know what the fashion is for salmons are, but I think it could be a summer shirt for a salmon.
I think a salmon would look great in this shirt.
I think so too.
Oh, are we starting a new trend for salmon, which maybe segues into our topic of the day, kind of?
Wow. I mean, I'll let you take that leap because that is a hell of a jumping off point.
Let's play through the scenario.
Okay.
We've just decided that salmons are going to wear this type of summer stripy shirt. We get together a load of salmons. Sure. No. We get a couple of salmons together and we're like, hey, salmon folks, here's a new trend for you. Wear these shirts. They start wearing the shirts. They go back swimming upstream. Wherever they swim. In the Yemen. That's I saw that film once.
Salmon fishing in the Yemen. Yeah.
Didn't like it. That's a side note.
Is this podcast about salmon now?
Yes.
Okay.
Salmon facts only. And so the salmon are back in the river. They're swimming in their summer stripy shirts, and everyone else starts wearing the shirts. And you're on the sidelines. Look at those salmon. Jumping on the bandwagon.
They do jump. So that's quite relevant.
Even better. And also, I know it's not a direct rhyme, but salmon jumping on the bandwagon feels like there's sort of a rhyme there.
Salmon wagon. Is that where you're going with it?
Yeah, you can force it a little bit.
That works. Yeah, okay, cool. Jumping on the bandwagon, you say?
Yes.
Wow, what an amazing saying for us to explore.
Wow, what a natural segue.
That was the most natural one so far, I think.
I think it actually was. Wow, maybe I'm on fire in the mornings.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's wait and I'll hold off on that until we listen to it back.
You can be the judge of that at the end of the episode. Shall we keep the saying, and has Rachel been on her A game or not?
Okay. To business. Well, this is the quickest we've got to business on any episode, I think.
Yeah.
Jumping on the bandwagon. What
That
does it
was my
mean to
brain
you?
saying some. Sorry, my brain was going biscuits. I don't know why that. Where did that come from? Business. Biscuits.
Business.
Anyway, what does it mean to me?
Yeah.
Instinctive thoughts are jumping on the bandwagon. It's just like getting on the trend. It's seeing somebody doing something and deciding you're going to do it too.
Mhm.
With both, I think, a positive and negative connotations.
Fabulous. Can you think of any good examples?
Jumping on the bandwagon. Well, funnily enough, and maybe this is because I, again, like yesterday's episode, was watching Love Island before, but I feel like in a negative
Wait, how
sense.
is it? How is it? How is Love Island?
Good. Yeah, in it. I'm enjoying it a lot more. Like, I haven't watched it for 5 years. I stopped watching it because I was like, this is bad for my brain, watching all of these like impossible beauty standards people, and the drama pisses me off and it's all fake and it really annoyed me. But I don't know, I've changed a lot over the last 5 years and now I'm just taking it as the pure entertainment that it is.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm
Nice.
enjoying it.
Nice.
And I mean, it has accompanied me in like just very like background noise while I'm being really productive doing other stuff. But anyway, in terms of like drama, like I feel like I've seen jump on the bandwagon used, say if like somebody has a disagreement with someone or there's like a conflict or a drama of like other people jumping on the bandwagon of like coming at that person.
Oh, so joining in, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Like being like, oh yeah, it's almost a bit like following the herd a little bit or just kind of like going with
Oh,
the
okay.
majority.
Following the herd. That's
Oh shit.
a cousin. That's a cousin right there.
A cousin. We need to do a family tree of
We
sayings.
actually do. Well, what was the last one that we had a cousin for?
Biting off
That
more
was
than you can chew. And the
I thought it
cousin
was chickens
was.
coming home to roost.
Oh, maybe they've all got maybe many cousins.
Many cousins.
Many cousins. Maybe one for the spin-off episodes. I feel like there's a lot to this. I feel like there's a lot to this saying. Tell me some of your thoughts.
Well, as you know, I've done my research.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like my thoughts pre-research first?
Yes, please.
Okay. Jumping on the bandwagon, I feel is quite like a trend-led thing, like your initial thought of, oh, well, everyone's doing it now,
Yeah.
And I feel like it's got quite, like, my initial thoughts were quite a negative connotation as well. Like it not being a good thing, like it being said by somebody that is looking down on whoever they're talking about.
Yeah. I think that's probably where I would lean more of the negative than the positive. What would be the positive applications of said fraying? Said saying.
Well, I can tell you if you'd like, because I know.
Please do. Go on.
The magic of Google. Or
I want to know
any of their competitors. Politics.
Oh.
Yeah. So, did you know that the bandwagon was an actual wagon with a band on it?
I did not.
That's how it started. It started.
This is a beautiful image.
Yeah, and it was part of, I believe, the whole P.T. Barnum. This is the greatest show.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. So he had a wagon with a band on. People got so excited that they wanted to jump on it. and be part of
What-
the show.
What time in history is this?
Let me refer to my notes because unfortunately, even though I may seem like it, I'm not a oh my god, what's that massive like a bunch of books that's like
Encyclopedia.
Yes, Britannica, thank you. Yes,
While you find that, sorry, I'm just going to quickly, I perfectly positioned myself and now the sun has moved and it is reflecting off my car into my eye. So I'm just going to do a little bit of adjustment, but I can still hear you. So you start spitting facts.
Well, okay, sure. First one, bam. We're talking mid 19th century. So 1850 circa. Which I'm assuming was the time of P.T. Barnum as he came up in the research. He used it to draw in some crowds amongst many other pretty horrific things, as we know. Awful man. Can't believe actually that we got away with such an incredible film about somebody so horrific. But anyway,
right, I literally know nothing about this man, so maybe I need to maybe some side research here.
So there's a podcast, Radio 4, called "You're Dead to Me."
Okay.
Hosted by and researched and created by a guy called Greg Jenner, who is the lead historian for Horrible Histories, amongst other things.
Okay, nice.
It's fabulous. It's such a good podcast. If you like history, which if you've listened to this and us going on about the history of things, then maybe you do, in which case 10 out of 10. Anyway, there was an episode on P.T. Barnum and it scarred me. I can't believe it. I really can't. Like,
really?
They made that kind of movie out of, yeah.
I want to ask, but I also, I'm trying to resist the tangent. But why resist the tangent? This is an ongoing theme. Don't resist the tangent. Can you give us some headlines? Maybe like
tangents are the
maybe
best.
maybe like three keywords. Three.
Yes, I'll give you some words: racism, sexism, mutilation. There we go.
Okay.
There are three.
The big three.
The big three, 9 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday in what month are we? July.
Summer Tuesday. Okay, I will more to. Oh yeah, more to explore. Sorry, I had Googled him in this conversation and I just saw enslaved women and I thought, lovely.
Yes. This is why after I listened to this episode of You're Dead to Me, I was like, wow, okay, wow. So yeah, anyway, he's involved here. And then basically what happened, from what I gather, is politicians were in the crowds at these circuses, and they realized that people wanted to like go towards the bandwagon and they wanted to ride it, like they wanted to pop on and be part of it, and they wanted to be associated with the popularity of people screaming at it and the excitement. And so these politicians were like, I know what we can do. We can use this in our campaigns, and then people can get excited about us too. And then they can make other people excited about us. And so that is how it started to be used in politics.
I like it. It tracks. It makes sense. Jumping on the bandwagon. I can imagine it. I have many more thoughts.
So that is when the phrase started to become, it like have a different meaning than just jumping on the bandwagon as it is. You know, it's not just actually jumping on a bandwagon. It means you're aligning yourself with a political party or cause, whether it to be trendy or whether it to like, I don't know, align yourself there for business reasons, whatever it is. It started to kind of have a little bit of a warped meaning then.
Okay.
And this is 1850s, roughly.
Okay. And actually, the way you've described it there, we were saying like negative connotation. There's a bit of an emptiness in it for me. Like it seems almost like jumping on the bandwagon is like blindly following, or like seeing the shiny thing, or like seeing what everybody else is doing, and doing it because other people are doing it rather than because you've considered and thought it through yourself. Like that's the vibe that I get from jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, it's like doing it without thinking about your own thoughts because you're too excited or something, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe
Although
I'm
I guess
inferring the excitement from what we just discussed.
Oh, well, I think, from what you just explained, initially it sounds like excitement. It's like people are seeing the band on the wagon and being like, I want to be on that. But then there's like a secondary thing, which is seeing other people who want to be on the bandwagon and being like, I want to be like them.
You want to be the person who's creating the excitement and having like people look at you, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think I mean more like, rather than following the thing that got you excited, it's following the other people that are excited, because it's like, well, I'm going to follow the crowd.
Dare I mention another cousin?
Pray tell.
The sheep.
Well, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Does this track? Do you have?
Yes,
continue?
I have more. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I have more. I saw you. I saw it in your eyes. You wanted more. So this kind of carried on being quite a political thing, but then it kind of moved into its full meaning of supporting something just because it's popular or trendy, and not just because you truly believe in it.
Oh my God.
Hit the freaking nail on the head there, lass.
Whoa. There's another one. Hit the nail on the head. Not a cousin, distant relative. Distant relative. Anyway.
Distant relative.
Cool. Okay. Validation. I like.
And it's kind of leaning into even further now the idea of being inauthentic or opportunistic. For example, I am a Manchester City supporter, for better or worse. I started supporting them when they were not doing very well. And I have to mention that because otherwise people think that I have jumped on the bandwagon.
Right.
Of them being a good team, quote unquote.
Which is interesting that
whenever you're listening
default...
to this episode, that it might have changed, but
but interesting that people's default then is almost to assume that somebody is doing it because everybody else is doing it. Like you don't have your own thoughts and opinions.
If you're a fan of something popular or something that's successful, then you're doing it because it is popular or successful, not because you actually like it.
Yeah, and like a lot of people that listen, like what bands that they're really passionate about, you'll hear people say like, yeah, but I start like I was a fan before they were famous, or like I've been following them from the start, right? Like you want to be like, no, like this, like I was the OG here.
I knew them from their mixtape.
Yeah,
you get that, and I've been hella guilty of that. How about you?
I don't think I'm that much of an. I'm not like in the music scene enough to listen to people that early on.
Okay.
Maybe saying not in the music scene is probably not the right phrase, but like I just don't. I'm like a lot with this. A lot of things. I have a resistance to new thing. Like I'm drawn towards the familiar, so I only really discover music by accident. I would never just like go, let's listen to the new bands in like the genres that I like. I just don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's never been anything that you were a fan of early on because you accidentally discovered.
Okay, no, I actually have. Okay, my biggest claim to this.
There we go.
Is
there's the story.
In oh God, how old am I now? 33. Yep. So I was 23. So 10 years ago, when I was teaching and I was really exhausted. Or like basically at one point I YouTubed like tips of like giving a massage, and I was watching the massage video and I was like, oh my God, this is the most relaxing thing. And I used to have this bedtime routine where I would watch like massage videos to go to sleep.
Okay. Yeah.
And now the ASMR industry is like absolutely booming. And in my head, I'm like, I was one of the OG ASMR people. I mean, like some of that content was already there, and I'm clearly not the only, like I'm not the first person. But like I remember telling someone at the time who thought I was like the weirdest person in the world. And like now it's just a very normal and accepted thing.
I remember that shift so vividly because it felt like I went to sleep one day and people were talking about these weirdos that are like turned on by ASMR. And then the next day I woke up and people were just like everyone was just doing these ASMR videos and being like touching the
Yeah. Oh, I do have a limit. Oh.
And
the tap, yeah. I have a very specific
tapping everything.
Tapping bothers me. I have a very specific like niche of it of relaxation. Nothing creepy, guys. Nothing weird. But like soap carving. Yes.
Okay, that is specific.
But tapping on stuff, goodbye.
Okay. I mean that leads into another context of the modern day use of jumping on the bandwagon, which is TikTok trends.
Okay, this is what I've wanted to discuss with you. But
okay,
same old things.
No. Hang on. There was an excitement in your eye just then that
there was an excitement. Because when I thought about this before the episode, I was like, this is prime conversation for you.
Yeah.
You know me, you've worked with me in a marketing capacity.
I've worked with you in every capacity possible.
That's true, in every capacity possible. And I don't do, well, I'm on Instagram now, but I don't really do short form content. I actually think like an unreasonable disdain for trends. Like I know that there's like a perspective where it's a good thing. Well, I'd love your opinion on everything I say. But like it really like actually pisses me off. And like I don't know if it's the rebellion in me, but like if someone was to say, well, you should do a video on this because it's a current trend, I would be like, no. Even if I was gonna do the video because I wanted to anyway, if it's a part of a trend, I'm like, no, I don't want to jump on the bandwagon.
Well, I just have one question for you, Rach.
Go on.
Do you hate having fun? What do you what honestly because like if you see something online and it's just like, oh cool, I want to do that, you never get that feeling ever?
No,
there's not like a recipe that you want to try that you see online and you're like, oh, I want to do that.
Oh yeah. Okay. But for myself,
why is that not a trend? Wait, hang on a second. You just said for myself. Your assumption is that everyone that wants to get involved in a trend is jumping on the bandwagon and not doing it for themselves.
Oh, okay. I've missed an important context. I'm purely looking at it through the lens of content creator, not life. Life is a different thing. I'm thinking of just like as a content creator, I don't like creating content that's jumping on trends.
As a business, in life, you mean?
Yeah. In life, oh yeah, I'm fine with that.
That's really interesting. Why?
Am I completely fine with that in life? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because like fun, if it's fun or I'm interested in it or I want to. Okay, I think here's the distinguishment. If I'm jumping on a trend, because I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's interesting. It's a little bit like what we've been discussing, right? The trend part is irrelevant. The trend is more that like it's become so popular that it's come to my attention, but I'm doing it because I want to and I'm interested by it. If I'm jumping on a trend because everybody else is doing it, I don't want to. And also I feel like I probably lean way more towards that connotation of it as being like a negative, like sheep type thing.
So you're a fervent hater of the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Gosh. in all aspects?
I don't know.
Is it the performativeness of it? Because that kind of links in with its roots, is that it's very performative.
It's I think it's the intention. Lots of musings today. I think it's the intention behind it, and maybe that's why I'm more against it in like the business content creatory world, is because and this is not necessarily true or fair assumption, right? Because everyone has their own intentions, and I'm not aware of all of everyone's intentions. But my instinct, I guess, when I look at somebody following like a TikTok trend, is like, oh, could you not have had an original thought?
Even if they have original thoughts alongside.
Yeah, I think you need to challenge me on this, because I think I don't think it's a good thing that I default to this. Like, I don't enjoy, like, I actively, like, not that I want to be on TikTok because we don't need another time suck, but like, if somebody is on TikTok next to me or Instagram Reels next to me and I hear the same song coming up again and again, or like people doing their dances, it just pisses me off. I'm like, but I think that's partly just overconsumption. Like, it's too. Wow, there's much to unpick here.
Yeah, there is. There is, because it started as a form of entertainment, and then the entertainment was used for selling an idea when it moved into politics. And then I suppose it's still selling an idea. The idea is, I don't know, capitalism. I don't know, because the whole idea of these apps and trends is for people to stay on the app as long as possible, because that's how they make their money, right?
Yeah, and maybe that
is that what you're pushing against?
Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I think where my head was going to then was a bit like, I actually don't like that that's my reaction, because as an advocate for people expressing their creativity, if somebody's creativity is expressed through taking a trend, because it's not like I'm walking around saying everything that I've ever done is original. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's if somebody's creativity is expressed in this way, who am I to decide that that's not valid? But I think it's because there's something for me inherently about jumping on the bandwagon of like a trend that's like, I just associate with doing it because you're trying to like either be like everybody else or play the algorithm. But again, I'm also trying to challenge my view of like, it's okay to play the algorithm.
I mean, yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Because by doing that, are you playing into their hands, or are you trying to trick them into helping you succeed?
Exactly. Tell me your positive spin on this. Like, what are you advocating for trends?
Okay, so I have a complicated relationship with this as a marketing strategist.
We like complicated.
Yeah, because marketing is heavily reliant on, or not even reliant on, it is a perpetrator. No, what's the word? Like, it makes trends happen.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
I can't think of what. Yeah.
It begins with a P and it's something like that, but I don't remember what it is.
Prerequisite?
No.
Oh.
Anyway, this isn't interesting. It is creating trends by the very nature of it's pushing the creative boundaries in a good way, and then people see that and they say, oh, I want to do that too because that looks fun.
Yeah.
And from that perspective, I love it, because I think, oh, people are creating something new and exciting, and it's exciting enough that people want to join in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is something to be said for the community that you can build when you're taking part in something. Like,
Yeah.
it makes me think of how clearly defined like cliques used to be back in the early 2000s. If you liked a particular kind of music, then you all dressed a particular way.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, that might be jumping on the bandwagon, you might say, because you're copying how other people are dressing based on the fact that you both listen to the same music. But it's also at the same time an opportunity to bond and feel this really human thing of belonging.
Yeah. And a way to identify, maybe, especially in the online space, of like who is on, like what groups are on what bandwagons that you want to jump on. Like what, they're all different types of wagons with different types of people, like finding your community in that, I guess.
Yes. And they're all shouting, and it's a very, very shouty, like condensed, oversaturated space. So sometimes it takes a little bit of effort, and it can be really, really overwhelming because there is just so much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in essence, I find the whole jumping on a trend because it's a trend and you want to grow your account, like hollow stuff, very depressing. But at the beginning of these things, there was somebody trying something new and being creative and trying to have fun or make something, and that is really cool to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do think I need to remember that. Like it's there's a sort of knee-jerk reaction that I have, which is quite a strongly negative one, but there is so much more behind it. It makes me think there's a really good, so Brené Brown talks about comparison in her, well, generally, but I've got her book Atlas of the Heart, which explains like basically every human emotion. And she says something really interesting about comparison, which is it is something like simultaneously being crushed from two sides by a desire to fit in and a desire to stand out. And I think that this is part of what this tension is, which is like the trend is almost like fitting in, but then maybe what's going on in my mind is going like, but then how do you stand out if you're just fitting in? Like, how do you, like, that's just, you're just kind of like everybody else.
I mean, from a marketing perspective, because that's where my brain goes straight away, I would say that everyone has a unique story to tell and everyone's coming from a different perspective, and therefore for representation's sake, like it's important that you can speak your version of whatever it is.
Yeah. And a bit like we talked about in the first episode with early bird catches the worm, like you might be the first person, you might be starting the trend or an early adopter of the trend, but the later on, like everyone can adopt the trend and have their own voice or spin or way of doing it. And it's still valid, and in some cases might be better. Like it's all to play for. But no, well, that was, I said but I didn't mean the word but. I just meant segue.
It was a really northern one as well.
But
okay, but before we move on from this conversation though, because I do think that there's a larger thing when talking about businesses, specifically when we're talking about jumping on the bandwagon, and that is greenwashing.
Oh, okay. I have another thought. Okay, I'm going to park this thought and we'll come back to it.
Okay.
Greenwashing.
Yeah, I'm thinking specifically H&M and their recycled polyesters and their organic cottons and their bring us your textiles and we'll turn them into new textiles program. it's all for show.
Right.
And it's because they know that they need to stay in the realm of what's popular, and that they know that, you know, being conscious about our planet is in the zeitgeist. And
Mhm.
as long as that is in there, they need to jump on the bandwagon, because otherwise they're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
But
And it's wild because it actually shouldn't, environmental consciousness shouldn't be a trend, right? Like it's not a trend. It's a
yeah,
principle or like a foundation.
because when it gets boiled down to a trend, it's like, it's just a facade, because organic cotton uses so many more resources than standard cotton to create. So in
What
terms
makes
of
it
its,
supposedly organic?
because they are not using pesticides.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a performance, isn't it?
Yes, it is, because actually the impact that it has on the environment, depending on the methods that they use, can be more than regular. And recycled polyester, not to get too textile-y, but actually we haven't done this yet, so why not?
We haven't. Go in, girl.
And for anyone that is listening that isn't aware of my background, I have a bachelor's in textiles. I learned how to weave fabric, and I'm obsessed with everything to do with fabric and identity. So that's why I'm nerding out right now. So yeah, recycled polyester. Okay, it has the word recycled in, yes. And yes, it has been made out of previous polyester materials. However, the process of then making a garment out of recycled polyester, the fabric itself lasts a fraction of the amount of both the original polyester garment and the natural fiber alternatives. Not only does it not last as long, so it's less durable, so you're going to have to buy more of the product because it's going to break faster. It also releases hundreds of times more microplastics into our water system. Okay. Yet they put recycled polyester on the label and go, we've done our bit for the planet.
Yeah. And it's just a false economy, really.
Bandwagon, baby, bandwagon.
Bandwagon. But a bandwagon out of probably more like business survival, really. Like from their perspective, they're going, we have to jump on this bandwagon because people are becoming more environmentally conscious and we need to keep up with that. But we can't do it well, in their eyes, probably we can't do it properly because I'm guessing there's a cost to that. So let's just do what we can for the optics.
Well, there's a cost to it, but the reality of it is the consumer is not going to pay the price that true sustainability costs.
Yeah.
And they're in a mindset of consume, get rid of that thing and then consume again.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other shift that would need to happen.
Which is interesting, isn't it? Because I think there's so much with these big businesses that we want them to change, but they're only going to change if consumer habits change. I don't think consumer habits are going to change. For many reasons.
What was your thought? What was your thought that you parked to the side?
It was just on the topic of like jumping on trends as a online creator or business owner. Okay. What was it? Oh no, it was just a reflection that I think maybe part of my resistance is that the way that I have been able to do online business and content is being very insular. So like I don't look at other people. I don't look at other people in my niche. I don't watch other people's content, because if I did, I would get too in my own head about whether to bother or not. Like the comparison gets in the way. And so I do wonder if part of it's for me that like as soon as I entertain, historically, I think I'm changing, but like as soon as I entertain like jumping on the bandwagon or picking up a trend,
Mhm.
it disrupts my wonderful bubble of like, I work best following my own creativity and I go into
Right.
comparison mode. So maybe a
Right.
part of the resistance is that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
valid. Super valid.
So, but then that's interesting because then like, are trends supporting creativity or are they diminishing creativity if they give people less opportunity to maybe, I don't want to say think for themselves, because you can absolutely take a trend that you want to jump on and like put your own spin on it, but I guess I'm talking more about consumption constantly of trends and consumption of information that's the creativity diminisher.
I think maybe it's the speed of it, because is there ever an original thought? Like
Well,
everything
yeah,
comes from somewhere.
definitely.
So is it maybe it's the speed of the consumption that is really the concern for you?
The speed and the volume.
Mm.
Jumping on the bandwagon. I thought it had more positive connotations, but I feel like generally in this conversation it's used quite negatively.
Okay, well, let's talk about activism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, go on.
Because 2020 was a year,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of performative stuff going on, in regards to companies showing up to support BLM
Mm-hmm.
for 1-2 months.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that in regards to this phrase?
I think I struggle to make the link a little bit between this and jumping on a band. Well, it is what is happening. They're jumping on a bandwagon, but I think because I associate that more with like a trend, and I don't see like people's human rights as a trend.
Yep. Well,
Something doesn't quite.
I think these companies did. I think that's the
Yeah.
part of the problem. Do you were you on Instagram? Because as we know, listeners, Rach had a hiatus from
I
Instagram
did.
for a while. But were you on Instagram on 2020?
Yeah.
So do you remember during that surge of BLM supports, protests, activism, that there was a day where all of Instagram got flooded with people posting black squares in
Yes, I
support
do remember
of
this.
BLM.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I worked at a company at the time that was not interested in keeping up with the trends. What this meant was, in reality, they weren't listening to what was going on socials generally. And so they missed that memo.
Uh-huh.
The only acceptable actions on that day were to post a black square, which is a whole other thing, by the way, in terms of performative nature of performative activism, which is a whole other topic to get into. But
Yeah.
what their two options were to post a black square or to post nothing. However, they had scheduled content that went out on that day.
Mm-hmm.
And because they weren't listening to what was going on social media, they had a bunch of what's the best word? Negative sentiment, probably. I was going to say
Okay.
hate comments, but negative sentiment is the marketing term. And it's, I mean, the effect on the brand as a whole is unquantifiable by me at this stage, because I don't work for them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
However, at that time, it was very obvious
It's
because
but isn't it?
people are very angry.
But this is what's interesting, isn't it, about these? Because actually that's a really good example of a trend, like the black square trend, which is the way I heard it was portrayed, or like the intention behind it was actually for people that weren't like black owned businesses or black owned creators or whatever to post the squares to almost like elevate their content. And so I remember there being a lot of this pressure of like post the black square, but I also remember afterwards there being a lot of negative sentiment about the people that did, which was performative, or also like, why are we bothering with this shit, right? So like where there's well, whatever choice you're making or whatever bandwagon you're jumping on or not jumping on, there are people that will support or not support that. And so I think that's why in those examples, right, like it has to be rooted in like a genuine decision, say from a business, that like this is why I'm supporting this and this is what I stand for. Partly because then it's genuine, but also then you can defend yourself if you're criticized, because you're like, but this is the decision that we've made and we back it, if you know what I mean.
Which goes back to Manchester City.
Pray tell.
Because it goes back to how people perceive if you're supporting something that is currently got a lot of noise around it, or it's successful or popular, then you need to be able to immediately prove that you are authentic in your support.
Mm-hmm. And there will always be people that won't believe that.
Yes.
But there will be people that will believe it. I mean, that's just humanity, isn't it?
True. But it's funny that jumping on the bandwagon has this negative connotation for both of us, really. Like it's seen as a negative thing.
But you know what's interesting is when you were explaining that example in 2020 with that company, is I think we now exist more so in a world where you're also criticized for not jumping on a bandwagon because the inaction or the lack of opinion is seen as giving an opinion in itself.
Yes.
And so you're kind of trapped because you're like, whatever bandwagon. I feel like this is quite a negative lens, but like
I think you're trapped if you don't know what you believe in.
Ooh,
That's all I have to say on that.
No, I think you're right? If you don't know what you stand for. Yeah. So what are we saying about this phrase? How are we summarizing this?
Well, do you know what? I think it's probably it is a result of the human condition of doing the them and us thing.
Okay.
And you're not a real fan, like proving that you are the more worthy of being a fan of something, being in support of something. So like I guess it's a status thing. Yeah.
Isn't it funny though that in the status game of this, there's something about perceiving somebody to have joined something or liked something kind of like later on in time, or when it's more popular, as like a negative thing, like as if they are following the herd, versus that's just a funny little human instinct.
Yes, and I have been very, very guilty, actually. Well, that's one too many very, just one very, of thinking that number one, thinking that I don't like the word superior, but superior in having more knowledge than somebody else about a given subject. However, it's quickly followed by an intense excitement that I get to introduce somebody to something, like I did with you and made a whole presentation about 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, you don't know 21 Pilots. I know everything about them. I feel like such a good fan. And now I'm excited to like help you up onto the bandwagon.
I love that. I love that. But that's interesting because I think there is sometimes also a sentiment of with some things with people that's like, whoa, I can't believe you've not, as if you don't know about that, right? Like, and
oh my God, when I haven't seen a film and someone's like, you haven't seen it? How have you not seen it? How you haven't seen it?
yeah,
I'm like, no, I haven't
no,
seen
I
it.
haven't.
I've only had 30 years on the planet, and that is giving me an exact timeline to be able to do a set amount of things. Leave me alone.
Many hours of that will be asleep because that is important. But
Yes.
isn't it? You know what this? I feel like this just it's moving me towards a conclusion. Like a lot of these. I don't know how I would encapsulate them, but like it's an impossible standard. Like you can't win because
No.
you're either ignorant of it or you're too involved. Like you're either, you know, it's what is the perfect amount of authentically being interested or doing something in a way that fulfills everybody's like, I don't know, standards of that. So I just think like jump on whatever bandwagon you want to,
Yep.
but be connected to what it is that you value and what matters to you as an individual. And actually, and I'm saying this to myself, you don't have to defend your choices if you're happy with them.
Yes. 100%. 1,000,000%. That's not a percentage, but you get my meaning.
It can be if you want it to be, if it's authentic to you.
If it's authentic to me, I would take the 1,000,000%. There we go. That's it. That's the end of the show.
There we go.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Episode's over, but you don't want to miss the outro. Thanks for spiraling through another metaphor with us.
If you like this episode, tell your mates, leave us a review, or shout a saying at us online.
You can find me, Rach, over on YouTube at Rach Does YouTube.
And you can find me, George, watching Rachel's videos over on YouTube, but also on Instagram at makinga.fuss.